It's okay if your path does not look like everybody else's. Let me come closer. Say it again, okay? Hi, friends. I feel like so many of the different creative projects that I've worked on have led me to this point, right? To really figuring out, okay, what is my creative vision? What is the best way that I can show up authentically and share content and share the messages that I feel called to share in a way that still feels like me, right? I think so often, especially in the content creation space, I feel like there's a lot of trends, and this is how it works for this person, and you need to do this social strategy and things of that nature. Especially coming from a career and a background in social marketing, my brain was really programmed to think about things from a strategic perspective, to think about things from how is this measuring up within the industry. And so I have had a beautiful journey of undoing and unlearning. And that's exactly what today's message is all about. So for this first installment of A Safe Space with Kai, if you're listening to my voice, hi, welcome. At the concept to share the audio files on podcasting platforms, because I listen to podcasts. Shout out to all my podcast lovers. I love to listen to a podcast when I'm driving, or Audible books or things of that nature. I love my YouTube videos and the creators that I tune into, but sometimes it's just easier to be able to turn on a podcast and listen without having to stop what you're doing to watch it, or if you lock your phone, the video will stop, whatever the case may be. So I decided that we would do an audio version and then, of course, still a video version. Like, I'm going to be a vlogger forever, ever, okay? So if you're watching me on YouTube, hi. And if you're listening to my voice on any podcast streaming platform, thank you so much for coming into the safe space. I'm so happy to have you. So I really wanted to talk today a little bit about it is okay if your path does not look like everybody else's. Let's just ground into this for a second. So I feel like in my own journey of life, I feel there have been many times and many seasons where I have felt very misunderstood. I have felt very unable to be my full self, or felt like I needed to kind of contort myself to be accepted into certain social groups, right? Whether that was friendship groups, whether that was religious beliefs, whether that was at work, anywhere. I feel like I have always been a free-spirited person, what we would like to call the black sheep, right? A lot of people, I'm sure, can relate. I've always been a free-spirited person who just sees things differently, who was made to stand out. And that's really what I want to get at, is that we are all made to stand out, okay? Each of our journeys is unique. Each of the way that we exist in the world is unique. We're all sharing a similar experience that we live here on earth, but everybody's experience is unique. And I feel like one of the biggest things I really struggled with was not taking up space fully in my path and in the full authenticity of who I am and who God created me to be, because I was too busy trying to figure out how I wanted people to perceive me. I was too busy thinking about, if I was my full self, if I really say how I feel in this friendship, if I really be honest about my journey and how I connect with God, how is that going to make people feel? If I really am honest about my own journey of self-discovery, right, and self-actualization, and just coming into awareness about who I am as a young woman. I'm learning new parts of myself. I'm shedding old layers. If I'm really honest with myself about that, and if I really am honest with the people around me about that, what does that mean? And the most beautiful thing that I have learned in this journey, y'all, is that the way that stepping into the fullness of myself ruffled some feathers, yes, but most importantly, set me free, Like, y'all, we got to really get into this. We have to really get into this because I feel like, again, I just feel like so often there's so many of us who are trying to make ourselves small when we were designed to stand out for purpose, trying to make yourself smaller, trying to make your ideas more quote unquote normal, trying to go the safe route, trying to pursue a career that feels safe because you can get a good job and you could just, not do too much and whatever the case may be. And even as I mentioned in the world of spirituality, right? I'm a big believer that our creator, God of the universe, created this massive world with all of these different types of people, such as you and I, with intention, right? By divine design. I think it's no mistake that we have different cultures and different traditions and different religions, and that there are so many different lived experiences in this world. And I feel like it is so, I feel like it can be so damaging to pass judgment on somebody or to tell somebody that their path needs to look a certain way for it to be worthy, because it's just not true. It's just not true. I just want to encourage you, wherever you are and however you're receiving this message, to be okay with taking up space in your path. Be okay with honoring your path and trust. If you believe in God, if you believe in a higher power, right? Trust that God is leading your life and that the steps will form. And it's okay if you're in one of those in-between spaces where you feel yourself kind of holding back on the fullness of who you are, or you feel yourself kind of stuck, like frozen. I was feeling very much like, y'all know the fight or flight. Well, it's really fight, flight, freeze, if we're familiar with that. I'm going to talk about that in detail in a whole other episode. So definitely stay tuned for that, because I have so many thoughts on the fear of it all, the control of it all, the fight, flight, freeze of it all, and how it really stops us from living our best lives. But what I can say as it pertains to honoring our unique paths, honoring the path of purpose, and having the courage to kind of walk on our own path, regardless of who cares to join you, is that sometimes we can be in this space of freeze. We can be in this space of feeling like just frozen in time. Like, I'm going to make myself small and I'm going to just kind of sit here because I'm scared and I don't really know what to do. And in reality, we need movement, okay? We need forward progress. There's nothing wrong with getting still and figuring out which direction it is that you are to be going in. There's nothing wrong with exploring and then recognizing, trying things on and seeing what works for you versus what doesn't work for you. I think the only way that we're able to really get clear about why we were sent here on earth and what each of us were originally called to do, the only way we can get clarity around that is by taking up space in our path and allowing our path to be that, to be ours, to own it, to stand all 10 toes on the fact that, like, yes, this is the way that I'm going, and this is where I'm at. This is what I'm learning. This is what I'm evolving through. My perception may change. I am open and receptive, but I am going to honor the call of my heart. I'm going to trust it. I'm going to lean all the way in, and I'm going to trust God enough that in the event that I'm going in the wrong direction, that God is going to take care of me and God will show me the way. And I feel like there's something so freeing and so important and necessary in that. So many people have so many incredible gifts that the world don't even know about because you're too busy. Yes, you. No, not you, friend. I'm just playing. Somebody, okay? Somebody that might be listening to this podcast, that might be watching this episode right now. You're too busy worried about how other people are perceiving you. You are too busy worried about how this shows up, how this makes sense, all the things. You're too worried about ruffling some feathers and shaking some things up that you'd rather just play small so that you don't have to deal with it. But the gag is, we can never experience your gifts. If you play small and if you hide behind the authenticity of who you are, we can never experience the gifts of why you were uniquely sent here to earth for the world to experience. And I just feel like I don't know. I just feel something just kind of broke in me. I'm getting ready to have a birthday in a couple of weeks. I'm on my way to turning 27. And I'm just in this space where it's like, I'm going to just radically be myself. I'm going to radically be myself, and I'm going to give myself full permission to go through that process. I'm going to give myself full permission to take up space, to learn, to grow, to make mistakes, to find my path, to fall in love, to fall out of love. I'm going to give myself permission to do all the things and not be in judgment with myself about it, and trust where my path is leading me. And so I feel like that's ultimately the work that we are called here to do on this earth, if you are so open and receptive. And I think even now, like, I'm standing outside recording this video in nature. Y'all know I love a good nature moment. You know I love to catch a vibe and come outside. And I feel like it's so important, because when I was originally starting these videos and knowing that I felt this call to want to go deeper and to be in the depths. I'm a real deep person, okay? And I feel like I have tried to run from the depth for such a long time. It's just who I am. It's how I'm wired. I've always been like this since I was a kid. I've always felt everything very deeply. Like, things have always really been that deep to me. And so anyway, I feel like as I was trying on different personas, if you will, different creative directions of how I wanted to share this message, it wasn't fully authentic to myself. And I feel like that was a disservice to myself. It was learning. It wasn't like it was an intentional not trying to be myself, but it was more so thinking about the perception of, how is this going to be received? What are people going to think? Okay, maybe if I do it in this sit down style, it'll get more viewer traction, right? And now I'm just like, y'all, listen, you're going to get this content. You're going to hear these things that I have to say. The people that are meant to receive it will receive it. And I'm outside because I love being outside, because it's something about nature that just supercharges my spirit, okay? It's something about the way that the sun kisses my melanin. It's something about the way that when I see the trees and that when I see the leaves falling and changing colors, that makes me feel alive, makes me feel like there's movement in my life, like I can breathe clearly. And I'm just grateful. I'm grateful, and I feel in such perfect creative flow. And so I'm just at this space, like I said, where I'm just going to take up space and be myself. And it's okay if my path doesn't look like other people's. It's okay that my content might not look like other people's. I'll do you one better. It's not supposed to. It's not even supposed to, sis. That's the gag. Like, this was never about your path looking like somebody else's. This was never about you doing things the way that somebody else does in order for you to have success. And I feel like even in the world of self-help, right? So what I mean by that is the people that are out here growing and evolving and using the internet to further expand and learn and discover. I feel like the internet is such a powerful tool and it's so incredible. And also books and reading up on people and things like that. It's so incredible because you get to see people that are living a lifestyle that you may think you want to live, and you're able to learn more about it. You're able to study people, kind of make case studies. You can read people's books where they share their journeys, and it's all beautiful. I think somewhere along the line, though, we can make a little bit of a left turn, because if you're following somebody else's, yes, son, hi, son, if you're following somebody else's blueprint of how they got successful, it's no guarantee that that's going to work for you, because you're not them, right? You can take notes, you can take little nuggets and say, okay, boom, so I really like how they did this. I've really aligned with this industry. I really admire their emotional intelligence, or I really admire the way that they have compassion, or how they really got in their financial literacy bag, whatever it might be for you. I really admire the different things that they're doing, and I see myself in their story. But how can I make it my own? How can I take up space in my own path and carve my own path and beat to the drum of my own horn? Is that how they say it? Drum of your own something. I don't know, child. But like, how can I take up space and beat to the drum of my own path, make my own path, and trust that my creator, that God, the Most High, has created me uniquely to walk this path? Maybe there's nobody else blazing the trail exactly the way that you need, because of the fact that it's your job to do it, friend. It's your job. And you're prepared for the job, you know? One of my favorite movies of all time is Pocahontas. Now, obviously, it was some problematic things with Pocahontas because of the colonization and the glamorization and all the things. And we're not even talking about that. We're not even going to entertain that because that's going to take away from this point. But I want to say, Pocahontas, I promise y'all, when I watched the movie Pocahontas, I could cry. Like, I could really cry real tears because I see so much of myself in her. And the whole premise of Pocahontas is that there's this free-spirited young woman that is trying to find her way, and she has to honor that path. She has to be okay with the fact that her path she has to be okay with the fact that her path is different, that everybody's telling her to go one way, and everybody's saying, Pocahontas, you should do this, you shouldn't do this, whatever the case may be. And Pocahontas is like, girl, I got to do my thing. I got to do my thing, and I got to trust the guidance that I'm receiving, and I'm going to follow that path. And I just came here to say that as you find this video, as you listen to this episode, if you are on the journey of discovering yourself, of rediscovering yourself, this is a safe space for you to journey and evolve in every facet of what that looks like. My hope and my intention is that when you experience any of my content, when you experience me in real life on the internet, okay, like as for me and my corner of the internet, I want to be really, really intentional about creating safe space for people to be on the journey, to be in exploration, to not feel judged about wherever you land on your process, wherever you land on your journey of growing with God, wherever you land on your journey of discovering what taking up space on earth looks like and feels like for you. And I feel a real calling and responsibility to just cultivate this space for us and to let you know that I see you, I honor you, I stand with you. I think the best place ever you could be is exactly where you're supposed to be, exactly as who you are. We spend so much time trying to outrun what's for us. We spend so much time trying to outrun where we are in our season of life, trying to change who we are for somebody to like us, to be accepted, to be able to get a job, for somebody to fall in love with us, in order to fit into the friendship group just perfect, right? Like, we spend so much of our time as young people either trying to fit in or fighting yourself about the things that make you different. And I just want to empower you, if you are listening to this and seeing me, to take up space in your unique presence, your unique essence. It's such a gift. It's so intentional. And we need it. We need it. God cannot bless you while you're trying to impersonate and be somebody else. Be you. Allow the creative juices to flow. Allow the gifts that you have on the inside of you to pour out. Everybody's gifts show up differently. Everybody's gifts are of service to the collective differently. And you're not going to be able to get there if you don't take time to really understand what they are, right? I heard Nuri Muhammad, who I admire deeply, I heard him say on an interview not too long ago that the truth is the truth. There's no monopoly on truth. There's no such thing as somebody saying like my truth versus your truth. Because it's just the truth. And I feel like even I've been guilty of that, where I feel like people didn't understand my truth. And it's like, that's not even what this is about. The truth is the truth is the truth is the truth. And so I think as long as you're on the journey of truth seeking, of authenticity, of learning and unlearning, the path will make its way and it'll become clear. And I feel like the magic key, if you will, like what really unlocks the door to all the blessings to flow down and for us to live in the abundance of all that God has called us to live, is for us to just show up and fully be ourselves. And so that's what I'm doing, showing up and being fully myself out here in nature, a true fall baby with all of the beautiful leaves changing colors behind me. And I'm super excited. I'm so excited. As y'all know, well, first let me just say, as you know, or maybe you don't, if this is your first time here, my channel is all about self-discovery, sacred beauty, and well-being. All about how can we heal? How can we help each other to heal? How can we create safe space? How can we become our most authentic selves? And how can we still be beautiful in the process, right? Don't forget your physical. I feel like the physical is so important, and we'll talk about this in a later episode. But all of the pieces add up and go together to create the most beautiful, authentic, original masterpiece that is you. So stop trying to be like everybody else, sis. Stop trying to hide the things that you're really good at. Stop trying to hide the gifts and what's put on the inside of you. Stop trying to hide the way that you receive information and the way that you receive divine downloads because somebody told you that it's not good enough or it doesn't fit into their world. You never know the medicine that's on the inside of you and the way that not only it can set you free, but it can also lead the way for somebody coming behind you. So be yourself. Take up space and enjoy the process. So that's really all I got for today's episode of A Safe Space with Kai. I'm so excited for this journey. I feel something about it just feels right. Like something about it I just feel so settled in my heart, and I feel so content with whoever receives it, however many people receive it. I am all good. I feel I'm being obedient to the call. I'm answering. I feel enlightened. I feel alive. I feel supercharged. And I'm so excited to journey with each and every one of you. If it's your first time here, or even if it's not and you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure to subscribe. Give a thumbs up, okay? If you're listening to this on podcast, definitely be sure to leave a rating. I think that's what the girls say, right? Leave a rating, share it with a friend if it resonates with you. I would love to hear how you're receiving this and if it's been helpful to you, or just your thoughts on how you're taking up space as your authentic self in this season. I'm super excited to connect with each and every one of you. And if you're watching on YouTube, we ain't through yet. We're going to get into a little vlog motion and just have some fun. So until next time, for my listeners, I will see you very soon. And thank you so much for tuning in to The Safe Space with Kai. Mwah. YouTube fam, let's jump right in. Episode 1 in the books. I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling really excited, really blessed. This has been a project that I've had on my heart for a little while. As y'all know, I'm a YouTube girl through and through, okay? Like, I was born and bred by these YouTube streets, and YouTube has never steered me wrong. And so I've just been trying to figure out how to carve my lane on here. And what God has been revealing to me in so many different areas and so many different seasons of my life is just like, be you. Be your full self. And so I'm really excited for the way that y'all are going to see and feel and receive these messages and this new iteration of A Safe Space with Kai. I'm super excited also for feedback from y'all on how you're liking the format style. If you have any feedback, like what you're thinking about the topics and stuff, you know, at the end of the day, we all just out here on a journey trying to figure it out, okay? Just evolving, learning, growing, and especially for the people, my people, these 20-somethings people, okay? Even people that are younger or people that are older that are just out here trying to figure out life and just kind of getting lost in the sauce a little bit. I just want to create a safe space for us to journey together, for us to figure it out. Yes, we're going to talk about some deep topics because your girl is deep. What can I say? Is who I am. But I still want to have fun and catch a vibe. I still want to have personality. Like, I don't want to feel old, or not old, but like, if I sit this here, can you see me? Can you feel it, Mr. Krabs? No, okay. Let me see. Let's stay. I know this thing ain't gonna stay. Whatever. Not old, but just like, I just wanted to feel authentic. I wanted to feel authentic, and I want somebody else who's in their 20s to watch this and be able to relate to it and not feel like I'm on some level that's so mature. And I talked about this a little bit before, but I feel that journeying in grief has done a number on my spirit in terms of aging my spirit. And this year and these past couple of months has been all about the inner child. Like, it has been all about reuniting with my inner child and letting her live her best life and allowing myself to find that childlike energy, that excitement, that spirit, and just even the youthful 20s spirit, right? Like, just having fun and being in exploration and doing all the things. So I'm really excited for y'all to receive this project. I said it 27 times already. I can't stop smiling because I just feel like something about this just feels right. And in future episodes, I don't know exactly what the format is going to look like. We'll definitely do some moving and grooving throughout the day. I don't know if I'm going to be talking that much in the videos, but we'll see. We just going to let it flow. So anyway, now I have to mail a package. I got a box back here that I need to mail to my little cousin in New Orleans. Some things that she needed from home. So I need to go to FedEx, UPS, somebody's store and drop that off. And then I'm gonna go to the library and start editing this video and everything else. And also, what else did I want to tell y'all? I made some really bomb breakfast. I made some really bomb avocado toast and eggs for breakfast, and I had a spoonful of my coconut coat. If you don't follow me on TikTok, girl, please come follow me on TikTok, okay? Please be my friend. Join the community because, sis, your girl went viral on TikTok, or semi-viral or something like that. We gonna have to talk about this in a whole different episode. I'll probably talk about it in another episode on the series. So if it's not in this video, and if you haven't heard it on a podcasting platform or whatever, just stay tuned because I'm sure that I'm gonna talk about it in depth. But basically, I made a TikTok about things that I am loving at Whole Foods because I work part-time at Whole Foods, and it blew up. And I had been spending all of this time trying to escape the season of life that I was in, trying to find my way out, trying to get a better job, trying to do all the things, trying to do all of the things, okay? All of the things to put myself in a different situation and try to be in the driver's seat instead of just letting God do his big one. And the way that I got this divine revelation from God to just settle on in and just make the most of where I'm at, I posted TikTok and it went viral. I said, what? So that's kind of where I'm at, but I'm talking too much. I don't want this video to be long. I love y'all a whole lot, whole lot. And we about to go to the car wash, deliver some packages, go get some work done, all the things. So I'll see y'all probably at the library, and I think we're going to round this thing on out, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Bye. Yo, these little mini chocolate Reese's cup from Wawa gonna hit every time. These used to be so cheap though. They're like 40 cents for this little Reese's cup. I just go in and I just grab a few. I love a good chocolate, okay? I am just about finished this book, More Than Enough, by Elaine Welteroth. I just got a few more chapters, so I'm actually about to sit and read it right now. But yo, honestly, this book is so good, and it's super conversational, very easy to digest, very easy to read. Like, if you haven't read this yet, and you are anywhere on your career journey, or you're just a personal growth journey, you're in college, or you're just somewhere navigating who you are and feeling confident to take up space in who you are, which is everything we was talking about in today's podcast episode. More Than Enough. Read it. Thank y'all so much for tuning into A Safe Space with Kai. Something about the outro of this video is giving me Moesha vibes. I feel like whenever I heard that music playing on Moesha and when I watched her open up her diary, it really took me to a space. I think there's something so important about having a safe space to express yourself, having a safe space to explore and become exactly who God designed you to be. And so I pray that as you journey here and experience my content, that's exactly what this is for you. A safe space to discover all of who you are and all of who you can become. I'll see y'all next time.